What is going on, everyone? My name is Boyd and I am back with some more Age of Mythology of the Titans action, spawning in the left side of the map in the red color, playing as Odin. His name is Three-Eyed Odin. His opponent today in the blue color, playing as Hades. He's from the UCA clan. His name is Damantis. The map is Blue Lagoon and it is currently 1-0. So Three-Eyed Odin taking that first game very, very nicely with his Zeus play, taking down Damantis's Hades there on Anatolia. Seeing him change it up to Odin. He does like his Odin on this Titans game. Has a couple of buffs over Nilla. Gets a little bit stronger Ulfsark. It gets a little bit stronger Njord. And his Ragnarok is buffed because you can get classical town centers. So everything about Norse is a little bit better in the Titans than in Nilla, just because of those classical town centers. However, this is an interesting matchup, the Hades versus Odin matchup, where I don't feel like Hades actually has to worry about Ragnarok that much, because if Ragnarok comes and Hades is prepared for it, there's no way that the Ragnarok can push through the Hades buildings, because they've got so much more HP. Get out a couple of watchtowers, they've got extra attack damage, you've got the sentinels as well, and you're basically an impenetrable force of Hadesness. But we'll see what happens. This map is a very aggressive map. You've got forward gold mines here. Very hard to defend. There's no real town centers on top of them. You can see these two town centers are sort of in a position to defend it. And if you put your walls up well enough, you can force the opponent to come through there. And maybe this one's defendable with a town center, but I think you're going to need some army here. And I'm assuming we're going to see Three-Eyed Odin go Classical Age, 3 racks, and go pure raiding cavalry here. Whereas I'm thinking it's not going to be a good idea to go Pestilence. If you go Ares here, this is a really nice gold mine for Three-Eyed Odin. He can wall up the back. Maybe if the villagers can sneak around the back and then move forward to the front here and take out this gold mine. It's not really protected by a sentry tower, but just because it's at the back of the base, it's hard to be killed. So what I'm more expecting from Damantis is for him to go go for 2 town centers, but stay 1 town center, go 1 military academy or one stable and 1 archery range. So basically 2 military buildings into a second town center, right? And then try and max supply 130 pop restoration on the second gold mine that is Three-Eyed Odin. Whereas he should be in the heroic age for that point to counter that. The idea would be to get Skadi so that he can then throw up his he should do Skadi just so he can throw up his hill fort onto the second gold mine and then defend that, and he should be okay there. We are seeing the temple has come up now for Three-Eyed Odin. This is a bit of a precarious position. I can't understand this temple. The general consensus is you don't want to put your temple up outside of town center fire range, because if your opponent sneaks in, it can just pick it off while your army's out of position. Maybe Three-Eyed Odin is going to be using it as a bit of a bait, but I would much prefer to see it positioned behind this watchtower. It doesn't protect anything. It doesn't make any chokeholds, but it protects the temple forever, and then you can do some other things. We're seeing some really weird building placement here for Three-Eyed Odin. Not sure about that one. We are seeing Freya is incoming, and Damantis is coming through Athena, just like we expected. We've got some Herser coming out as well, just to build the buildings. Not sending them forward onto the hunt. And let's check out the line of sight that Three-Eyed Odin's got here. He does see the granary is empty here, so he should know that there are some units gathering over here. He does have this Raven set for that waypoint there, so he will know at some point. And this Raven's checking out at the top as well. Oh my god, thank you so much for the subscription there, Tarks. Appreciate that one, my friend. And Stoic Sorcerer for the follow. Appreciate that one as well. You guys are the best. Damantis captures Grugnir Odin Spear. That's going to make his hoplite a little bit stronger. Wouldn't be surprised to see him just throw up the military academy as well. just because it is really good. We're seeing the double longhouse here for Three-Eyed Odin, and the ox cart are moving forward here. Athena is coming through for Damantis, and are we seeing raiding cavalry? Yeah, we're seeing the raiding cavalry here for Three-Eyed Odin. No point going Ulfsark here against the superior Hades army. 1 military academy and 1 archer range is probably what's going to happen. We see the forest fire coming down onto this location here. No villagers die. A little bit of damage though. The Chiron is out to prevent this one. We've already got the second storehouse up for Damantis though, so this damage shouldn't be too much. Archery range is coming up now as well, and we're seeing the Ajax is ready to defend this hunt here already, as the Hursa and the raiding cavalry are going to be coming in. But I feel like Three-Eyed Odin is just going to push off this hunt because there's just 4 military units to 1 hero here, which is just not enough. We do have the military academy starting to pump out units. Got the Minotaur here. If we can micro this well, this is going to be really, really big for Three-Eyed Odin, as this last Minotaur is coming, or the Minotaur is coming in here. If he just has to micro this, and he is doing it, as this Minotaur is kind of like the Cyclops. If you run him away, if you run the units away from it, it just never does any damage because he needs to have that charge up onto the thing. And there you go. You can just see the micro really, really well there by Three-Eyed Odin. Not going to be taking that special attack. Oh, and he just manages to run into the Minotaur instead of away from him, and he gets the special attack. And while the Minotaur is recharging special attack, can't do that tactic anymore because he will get those attacks off. And now the army is here, ready to defend this position, trying to pick off the Chiron, but this is going to be very, very well. I think the Valkyrie... Oh no, the Valkyrie is sitting idle up here. While this attack's going on, you should be microing that Valkyrie onto this wood mine here. It would be very, very beneficial because all of the army is over here, and it's really hard to defend against a Valkyrie raid, as it's not... Yeah, it's still sitting idle. That's super unfortunate there for Three-Eyed Odin. And for some reason, his ox cart is super out of position as well. He's finally noticed that one, moving it in to this location here. And now Damantis should be thinking about gearing up for his second town center. You can see he's starting to get the economy going. He's got the walls up. He's got everything else going very well. The Raven sitting on top of this gold mine. Still, idle Valkyrie is making me a little bit on edge. A little bit on edge, unfortunately. Now we're seeing Throwing Axeman coming out as a response to this hoplite-based army. I like that. And Three-Eyed Odin should be thinking about his own second town center. So less villagers onto gold, more villagers onto wood. Or he should be thinking about just going straight to the Heroic Age himself, so he can have his frost to deal with the other stuff that happens here. And we are seeing Three-Eyed Odin's going to be checking out this location, realize there's nothing here. And we are going to be seeing Damantis have to retreat back onto the berry bushes here. Not what you want to see when there is a really nice hunt patch here that you could be gathering from. Maybe he doesn't know about it. Damantis, no, he knows about it. It's just in a bit of a difficult position. And Restoration comes down. Oh, that has to be a misclick. You hate to see it. That's really bad. That's unfortunate. Restoration is a really big god power in this matchup because you can use it to basically win any fight you want there. And there's a really low HP Minotaur here, and he gets lucky with that special attack, and he's going to pick off a couple of Three-Eyed Odin's units here, getting a little bit fortunate with that. And we are seeing the armory for Three-Eyed Odin. He could even think about changing up his strategy now, seeing as the Restoration's been wasted. But I still think getting Heroic Age is going to be completely fine. The villagers getting pushed off Hunt, though, is going to delay this quite a bit. So we're seeing he's sitting at 737 food here. It's going to be really important for him to start gathering that oh, he's short 3 food. He should be able to get there. And there we go. Skadi is going to be incoming. Wouldn't be a bad idea just to chuck these villagers onto the wood here, start pumping out Throwing Axeman, which he is doing, and then get up a double hill fort, and then make our Throwing Axeman Huskal based army, because he doesn't need to be gathering from the food anymore. But we'll see what he chooses. And we don't have the second town center from Damantis yet, and this is like a really all-in attack onto the second gold mine here, and he's going to be greeted with frost and a hill fort or two, and without the restoration to help him after that, it's going to be really difficult for him to gold starve. And Three-Eyed Odin should be in a decent position to continue in this game, at least being even, if not ahead, considering so much population in army here. You can see 92 population to the 70 population of Three-Eyed Odin, and now we're moving out, and there's a lot of land to traverse here. I think Demantis is scouting for gold mines, but he's got a scout on this one. He should realize this is the only gold mine that he can go for. There is this gold mine here that he's not aware of. But Three-Eyed Odin, he's just going to be chilling here. He's got the units ready to go, and there's the hill fort coming down instantly. And now the units are moving over. The Frost Giant gets picked off. This is pretty big if you can actually pick this guy off, and he is 13 HP. He's very, very slow. 4 HP, 2 HP does get picked off as the raiding cavalry are coming in here just to distract, but not going to be enough there as that Frost Giant does get picked off. Really big pick off there. That unit does tank damage for a very long time. But this hill fort should be up. If he throws up, he could even throw up a second hill fort before anything else. I still think I would have preferred to see less villagers on food here. Maybe take 3 of these off, and then you'd have enough resources now to get out the second hill fort. But we're seeing Jarl and Huskarl coming out. Again, against this army, I don't think Jarl are that important. And we are seeing the temple coming up now, but I think, yeah, Huskarl and Throwing Axemen are kind of what you need to win this fight here. The Jarl are a little bit too weak. They get picked off a little bit too fast, and they don't really do all too much, and you don't have any upgrades for them. We're seeing that second town center now coming up. We still have Frost here, and Frost does come down, and now we can move forward, prevent this town center from going up, and even grab it ourselves, and then start controlling the map that way, because there's no restoration to deal with this. Is Demantis coming for the next stage? He does have the armory incoming, so Aphrodite will be an option. And if we don't have the medium line upgrades, it's going to do a lot of damage. And that'll be really, really good. There's the armory, and Aphrodite should be incoming. Oh, he's seeing Demantis short on food because he's run out of berries, he's run out of pigs. He's going to have to get those farms, and he's just not building anything right now. And as a result, this town center is going to come up. This army is going to get caught by all of these units. We're seeing more Jarl coming out, and I'm sure Three-Eyed Odin is going to start pumping out those Frost Giants, as well as he's got the 30 favor in the bank and the 400 gold. And here we go. The army is going to be retreating away from the Throwing Axemen, so he's going to be able to get most of... Oh no, he's turning around. He's going to be trying to fight this one. It's probably not a bad idea. These raiding cavalry are not running fast enough because they're grouped with those Jarl. And we do see the Minotaur picks off that Jarl very, very fast with that special attack. But the next one moves in, picks off the other Minotaur. The rest of Demantis' army is starting to fall here. And this is going to be a really big win for Three-Eyed Odin, because when the Aphrodite comes in, you still need to get the army through in order to fight. So there's a lot of resources that Demantis needs here. Aphrodite is 78%, but no army is getting produced, and still on 2 military buildings when you have this much economy. Very, very silly. But we do have 2 town centers now for Three-Eyed Odin. We've got a really strong army. Now we're going to be sitting on this town center. Preventing this town center from coming up is going to be huge, but the curse should come in, and he should be fine to get this one. We've got the Nemean line out as well. Still not seeing a second hill fort here for Three-Eyed Odin. He's almost got the resources. He's got a lot of food villages, and he is going to have to start farming fairly soon. He's got a couple of berries left, but no hunt. Maybe he can move forward and grab this rhinoceros. That's a lot of hunt there. Probably would help him out substantially, because that is Demantis' hunt there, as we're seeing he is finishing up hunt on this final rhino over here in the corner. There's actually another stray rhino, just actually pretty high hunt map here. Sigma asks, not getting eco ups or not enough production buildings. Boy, what is the main thing 1750 plus players do that tilts you? Definitely military buildings. Because it starts, most players have a really, really good strategy, a really good start. Everybody, this game, the Titans, is really based on how crisp you are, how good your strategy is. But after a certain point, they just forget things. They forget the extra military buildings. They forget economic upgrades, and it's really easy just to throw them down. You can see Demantis right now, he's 300 wood. You just throw down 3 military buildings and you'll be okay. But now we're going to be moving into that portion of the game where Three-Eyed Odin, he's got nothing to worry about. He just has to force a curse, and then he just needs to move in here and take this fight. With enough of these Frost Giants, There's not enough heroes here to deal with these Frost Giants and the raiding cavalry as well. This army of 3-8 Odin is pretty vicious. Demantis needs to get up his heavy archers. Oh, we're seeing this raid coming in here. We're seeing the Frost Giants move forward onto this wood line in order to do something. Nice distraction here. He's not going to be losing many of these raiding cavalry doing this either. You're seeing the Frost Giants are able to basically stop the villagers from leaving here, get a couple of free kills, and 3-8 Odin is just going to retreat out at this point. Looks like he's going for that second town center. He's got a couple of Huskarl here. And that's very, very good. We're seeing more attacks coming up here. I see the curse coming in. That's exactly what 3-8 Odin wants now. And now we're seeing 3-8 Odin moves down to the 117 pop, but Demantis is in a similar position here. And 3-8 Odin's got 5 military buildings, and he can pump out those Frost Giants. As you can see, he's got lots of resources in the bank. He just needs to max pop and then sit on this gold mine. He should have walled up this map at this point as well. If he walls up here, here, and here, he prevents any sneaky gold mines, and then he can just sit on this location. But Demantis does have heavy archers out, and these Toxotes pack a punch. But there are Huskarls here coming forward, and Fortress is coming up. 3-8 Odin does see this, and he's going to make the move in. If he can prevent this Fortress from coming up, it's going to be really difficult for Demantis to continue in this game without anything. We've got a couple of raiding cavalry over here, and we're seeing the storehouse have to be deleted as the villagers have to be retreated away from this location. But the Toxotes are here. There's not enough Huskarl to fight this one. We've got a couple up here. 3-8 Odin is really short on the food here as he's run out of hunt. He does have this hunt here. He could just take that. Could take that one here, but he's not doing so. He can also grab his fortified town centers, which he is doing. He's grabbing that 4th town center. 3-8 Odin he's going to be okay, as well as Chrono JJ adding his color commentary. Demantis needs some walls for his Toxotes, which he's actually throwing up. And now this gold mine is completely secured. And this is going to come down to, can Demantis get Mythic Age and Earthquake this location and control this center of the map here with Earthquake, get 3 town centers, and then survive a Ragnarok. That is what this is going to come down to, because 3-8 Odin has not managed to secure this gold mine like he should have. Demantis has been able to do so. He is gonna have to get some Mythic Age. We do see the really nice wall with the really nice Petropolis. This town center is not going to be able to stay up for very long because of this one. So maybe he's not even going to need the Mythic Age. But surely 3-8 Odin's economy is going to start transitioning here into farms. Yeah. He can just take villagers off this wood line here, get his farm upgrades, which he does have irrigation. And was that also, yeah, he's also got winter harvest. So these farms are really, really strong. We've got fortified town centers comes through, so this is going to be able to survive these ones as well. Maybe even get the Masons upgrade. No Masons upgrade just yet. You do see the portable rams would be useful to push through here. Again, there's only one hero here, so if you got out a bunch of these Frost Giants, which I'm surprised he hasn't, he should be okay. And I'm still a little bit annoyed we haven't walled off this top side of the map here yet. You just need to send like one Ulfsark up or one throwing axeman. We're going to see another hill fort thrown up for 3-8 Odin. He should be able to, while Demantis can stop this town center from existing, he's not going to be able to claim it for himself for a while. He's going to have to win a 140 versus 180 pop fight, basically, or 172 pop fight. Demantis 130 pop, actually, not even 140, because he doesn't have fortified town centers, but his army is strong. The Nemean line gets frosted. Oh no, he pulls it back. Yes, he does frost the Nemean line here, so that's going to be really, really big there. Demantis loses that Nemean line, and then the rest of this army should be in a really good position. 3-8 Odin, he's got a lot of resources in the bank. I'm sure heavy infantry is going to be coming down. Does he have a market? We don't see the market just yet, and the army is out of position. No, run all the way back to your walls. Run past your walls, and then you can fight this okay. But there's so many Huskarl here. And these heavy Toxotes really don't do a lot of damage to them at all. Now we've got the portable rams taking down this fortress. There's not really any hack infantry or anything to deal with all of this. The villagers could garrison through this fortress onto this, but the Frost Giants should be able to do something there. The portable ram's going to be taking down this one. There is no masons, there is no architects, and there is no help for this fortress at this point. Demantis sitting at only 200 gold in the bank, whereas 3-8 Odin has an excessive amount of resources. We see Artemis has come through. The market is trying to get up, but it's sitting at 735 HP. The fortress does fall down to the portable rams, and now just the sheer amount of population that Three-Eyed Odin has got right now. Oh, we're seeing the walls trying to come up here, but Three-Eyed Odin is way on top of this one. Still not... He's not queuing units for some reason. He is full population. I guess he's just trying to pump out Huskar and get the really strong units, but he's not getting that. Well, there's the market, but he's not getting those heavy infantry, which would be really, really important here. And now the storehouse is going down. We're seeing the villagers getting greeted by these medium raiders at the top here. We're seeing more walls trying to get up in order to take down these locations here, but Three-Eyed Odin is way on top of it. We do see that this hill fort has been picked off, which is going to be really, really big. And now we're seeing Three-Eyed Odin have to reproduce those throwing axemen, which he really does not want to be doing here. And the Chimera is out as well. This is going to be a big unit for Damantis, but Balder is incoming. And like I said before, this is kind of how this matchup goes, but Damantis should have had restoration. He should have been in a better position. He should have been able to control this town center. But the Ragnarok's going to be incoming right now, and it's going to be gold that's going to be the issue. Three-Eyed Odin does not need to take down this town center. It's not a big issue. There's no watchtowers here, so he can take it down with the sheer amount of units he's going to get from Ragnarok. But he doesn't need to, is what we're saying. He just needs to sit on gold mines, and Damantis does not have plenty vault because he's got this earthquake. But yeah, I feel like that's all that needs to happen. I feel like he went for the earthquake on the home base of Three-Eyed Odin here, which potentially would have stopped the Ragnarok. But it's going to be incoming. We're seeing for some reason Three-Eyed Odin's economy, well, not the economy, his macro is really bad at this point, just not producing units very, very well at all. But Balder's incoming, we've got watchtowers coming down, we've got this gold mine has been prevented, and we're trying to get this town center back up. Fire giants are going to be incoming, frost giants are going to be incoming. The Chimera does get picked off here. Earthquake comes down, prevents this town center from coming up, prevents this, or destroys this hill fort, but Ragnarok is incoming. 333 population for this Three-Eyed Odin Ragnarok, which has Bronze Pierce. Now we're moving in, should be able to get this town center up. There's a lot of resources in the bank for Three-Eyed Odin to play with, and Damantis taps out. GG, well played there by Three-Eyed Odin. Super unfortunate for Damantis. I feel like that restoration was the big thing. Well, it was also having an eye on this gold mine. Getting that hill fort up for free was very big, because it should have been hill fort gets frost. You use frost to get the hill fort up, but instead what happened was he got the hill fort up for free, and then it was frost to grab this town center, which really put Damantis into a really difficult position, because the fight was now straight on top of this gold mine instead of on top of the town center here. And had Damantis been able to save his sentinels, he could have grabbed this town center himself, cast sentinels, and then he would have been in a pretty good position here to utilize his earthquake on this position or this position here, and then gold staff himself, because the gold mines for both players are really aggressive, and all you need is just a small amount of advantage to take the wins there. Alrighty then, it's currently 2-0 for Three-Eyed Odin, so let's move on to game number 3 and see if this is a 3-game sweep for Three-Eyed Odin, or if Damantis can make the comeback, the reverse sweep as it were.